the United States and Venezuela, two nations in the Americas, yet on seemingly different planets. When you look at them today, one is the world's leading superpower, a beacon of economic might and cultural influence. The other, a country blessed with immense natural resources, is currently grappling with one of the most severe economic and humanitarian crises in modern history. How did we get here? What makes these two countries so vastly different? Today, we're diving deep into the comparison between the USA and Venezuela, looking at everything from economics and politics to culture and daily life. This isn't just about statistics. It's about understanding the human stories behind the headlines. Let's start with the basics. The United States is a federal republic of 50 states, with a population of over 330 million people. Its economy is the largest in the world, a highly diversified, market-oriented system where private individuals and businesses make most of the decisions. Innovation, entrepreneurship, and a strong legal framework have been the cornerstones of its success. From Hollywood to Silicon Valley, American culture and technology have a global reach that's undeniable. Now, let's turn our gaze south to Venezuela. Located on the northern coast of South America, it's home to around 28 million people. And here's a staggering fact. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves in the entire world. Yes, more than Saudi Arabia. You'd think this would make it one of the richest countries on earth, and for a time in the 20th century, it was. During the 1970s, Venezuela was a thriving democracy, often called the Saudi Arabia of Latin America, attracting immigrants from Europe and neighboring countries. So, what happened? The story of the divergence between the U.S. and Venezuela is a complex one, but a huge part of it boils down to economics and governance. The U.S. economy, for all its flaws, is incredibly resilient because of its diversity. It's not just about oil or tech or agriculture. It's about all of them and more. This diversification acts as a shock absorber. If one sector has a downturn, others can help stabilize the ship. Venezuela, on the other hand, fell into something economists call the resource curse or Dutch disease. Its economy became overwhelmingly dependent on one single commodity, oil. When oil prices were high, the country prospered, and the government had vast sums of money to spend on social programs. But this reliance was a double-edged sword. It stifled the development of other industries. Why bother with the hard work of building a factory or a farm when you could just pump black gold out of the ground? This over-reliance became catastrophic when oil prices crashed. But it wasn't just market forces at play. Political decisions accelerated the decline. The nationalization of key industries, from oil to agriculture to telecommunications, dismantled the private sector. The government took control of vast swaths of the economy. Price controls were implemented on everything from bread to toilet paper. The intention might have been to make goods more affordable for the poor, but the result was the exact opposite. Think about it from a business owner's perspective. If the government forces you to sell your product for less than it costs to make it, what do? You stop making it. This led to widespread shortages of basic goods. Shelves in supermarkets became empty. Farmers stopped planting crops. Factories rusted away. This is a stark contrast to the U.S. system, where the principles of supply and demand, while sometimes harsh, generally ensure that goods are available even if prices fluctuate. This economic collapse created a domino effect that impacted every aspect of daily life. The Venezuelan currency, the bolivar, entered a state of hyperinflation, becoming virtually worthless. People's life savings were wiped out overnight. Imagine going to bed with enough money in the bank to buy a car, and waking up to find it is barely enough to buy a loaf of bread. This is the reality Venezuelans have faced. In the U.S., while inflation is a concern, the Federal Reserve has tools to manage it, and the dollar remains the world's primary reserve currency, providing a level of stability that is unimaginable in modern Venezuela. The political systems are also worlds apart. The United States has a long-standing democratic tradition with a system of checks and balances designed to prevent any one branch of government from becoming too powerful. It's not perfect, of course, and it faces its own challenges with political polarization. But the fundamental institutions of democracy, like free elections and a free press, have remained largely intact. Venezuela's political landscape has become highly centralized and authoritarian. Democratic institutions have been systematically eroded. The separation of powers has been dismantled, with the executive branch exerting control over the judiciary and the legislature. Freedom of the press has been severely curtailed, with critical media outlets being shut down or taken over. This has created an environment where holding the government accountable is nearly impossible, a stark contrast to the often raucous and critical media environment in the U.S. The human cost of this crisis is immense. The healthcare system in Venezuela has collapsed. Hospitals lack basic supplies like medicine, gloves, and even running water. Preventable diseases have made a comeback. Malnutrition is widespread, especially among children. This has triggered one of the largest refugee crises in the world. Millions of Venezuelans have fled their homeland, seeking food, medicine, and a future in neighboring countries and beyond. It's a humanitarian disaster on a scale rarely seen outside of a war zone. In the U.S., while there are heated debates about the best way to structure healthcare, and access and affordability are major issues for many, there is still a functioning system. You can go to a hospital and expect to find doctors, medicine, and advanced medical equipment. The basic infrastructure of a functional state remains. Let's talk about daily life and culture. American culture is a melting pot of influences from around the globe, characterized by individualism, consumerism, and a fast-paced lifestyle. The American dream, the idea that anyone can achieve success through hard work, is a powerful, enduring narrative, even if its reality is debated. Venezuelan culture is vibrant and warm, with a strong emphasis on family and community. Music, like salsa and merengue, the lifeblood of social gatherings. Venezuelans are known for their friendliness and resilience. But the crisis has cast a long shadow over this culture. The simple joys of life, gathering for a family meal, going out with friends, feeling safe in your community, have become luxuries. Chronic shortages and rampant crime have forced people to spend their days in long queues for food or gas, and to live in constant fear. The sense of optimism has been replaced by a struggle for daily survival. So, when we compare the USA and Venezuela, we're not just comparing two countries. We're comparing two different paths of development. One path, marked by economic diversification, democratic institutions, and a strong private sector, has led to immense prosperity, albeit with its own set of inequalities and challenges. The other path, marked by resource dependency, the erosion of democracy, and state control over the economy, has led to a catastrophic collapse. The story of Venezuela serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the dangers of economic mismanagement and the vital importance of strong, accountable democratic institutions. It shows how a nation blessed with incredible natural wealth can be driven to ruin. It's a complex and heartbreaking situation, and it's important to remember the human element behind the politics and economics. The millions of Venezuelans, both inside and outside the country, who are fighting for a better future for their families. Their resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Understanding these differences isn't about declaring one country better than another in some simplistic way. It's about learning the lessons of history and policy, and appreciating the fragile nature of prosperity and freedom. The contrast between the U.S. and Venezuela today is a stark reminder that a country's greatest resource isn't what lies beneath its soil, but the ingenuity, freedom, and spirit of its people. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. It's a heavy topic, but an important one to understand. If you found this analysis insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the stories shaping our world. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.